All righty then, away we go. We'll go a minute early with all you early birds. I like it. People are hungry on Fridays. Friday, October 15th, 2021. This is the one and only TRC telemarketing and sales training call. And a bunch of you have been kind enough to send calls in. That's why I want to get at it right away. And let's get to the very first one, which is Maxie. Maxie, do I have you on the phone yet? We'll see who the early birds are. Maxie. Okay, we'll go up next in the line from Maxie to Doug Wiseman and Lee Stillwell. You guys here today? Oh, sorry, you guys all have your mics muted, so you have to unmute your mic. So unmute your mics. Come on, Lee, or somebody. I saw somebody sign in under Lee's name. Come on, slackers. Yeah. Unmute.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, for some reason the picture isn't coming up. I don't know why.
Okay. I'm looking for Doug. Lee, is Doug here? Or one of you guys are signed in? You shouldn't sign in as Lee, by the way. When you guys sign in, sign as your own names. So Bruce and Doug, one of you there. Let me just unmute this. Okay. Lee, do we have Doug? Lee?
Yes, sir.
Do we have Doug?
He's supposed to be on here.
Okay.
Hey, Danny, I've got Brianna.
Thank you. So I will go to yours. Thank you, Chris.
I sent you two of them about a half hour ago.
Yeah. Hi, Brianna.
Hey, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Welcome. Okay. Chris, what email did you send them to?
Danny Griffin.
Okay, try to remember the danny.griffin@therealtyclassroom.com, just so they're in order. So let me just open up the other one. Bear with me.
Danny, did Bruce or Doug send you recordings? Because we had some problems.
I have Doug. That's why I was calling his name. But I'm on to Chris now. So let me see. Here we go. Chris, got it here. All right, I've got two of them. Anything you two want to tell me about this before I get after it? Any context?
These are Zillow Flex. Remember we talked the other day about the buyer leads?
Yep. Okay, good.
These are Zillow Flex calls.
Okay.
And the idea behind these calls is to determine, to get an appointment, discuss the location, see if there's any other properties that these people want to see, and see what their motivation level is. Get them off the phone, and then go do the research on the appointment, and then call them back. So,
okay,
it's a pretty precise.
Hi there, Alex.
Here we go.
Agent now.
What we're trying to accomplish.
All right, hang on 1 second. Let's see. Here we go.
Hi there, Alex here. I'm connecting you to a local agent now.
Yeah, hi. This is Lori Morgan, and this is my husband, JP. Hey, Lori, how are you? My name is Brianna. Oh, okay. No, Alex? No. This is Brianna with Remax. No, he was just connecting me to you. Oh, okay. I got it. This is all. Yeah. So you were interested in 2463 Mountain Park Drive.
Okay, so right there, too much already, right? So we need to really give Brianna something to say right off the bat. Just take over. It's just, we don't need, hi, this is Brianna, because see the confusion with the pass off, right? So we're already.
It's an electronic pass off.
Yep. So the point being is it's already a problem, right? Meaning, not that this is a big problem, but we're leaving Brianna to muscle through this. Hi, hey, this is Brianna, with such and such. I understand that you're looking at a property. Right into it, something like that, right? There needs to be verbiage given to her, and we might have to, three of us, sit down and work on this type of call. It's a different context. So now that I hear it, but already just, there's too much going on. So let's see what.
Is that correct? Yeah. Okay. And what day and time are you wanting to go see that in person? Yeah, if there's any time tomorrow available to take.
Okay, does she know the property at this point in time, or it's just a live call?
Live call.
Okay, so we have no idea what the property is.
That's why the intent or the objective is to get the information, get them off the phone, go research making the appointment, and call them back.
Okay. Don't know if we want to get them off the phone. Where'd you pick that up? Who said to do that?
That's the prescribed protocol by Zillow Flex.
Okay, let's listen to how their prescribed stuff works.
If you want to role play one, I can go through it and show you.
No, it's okay. No, it's okay. And nothing like live. Let's listen to how the consumer reacts.
Working? Okay. Let's see. So I'm available tomorrow at, can you do like 2 o'clock tomorrow? Is that working? Yeah, we can do 2 o'clock. Okay, awesome. And were there any other houses that you wanted to take a look at while we go look at that one?
No, we're just kind of slowly looking.
Okay.
We are from Colorado, and both of our jobs, we work together. We've got some construction companies, and so we're out here that we acquired a company, and they seem to really need, I wouldn't say myself, more my husband. So we're in, an executive rental apartment right now, and it's just not really working for me. So as we're looking at this becoming long-term, we're just trying to see where we want to be and what works best for us.
Okay. And where's your apartment at?
It's in Uptown.
Uptown. Okay, awesome. So what I will do is, as soon as we hang up on the phone, I'm just going to shoot you a text confirming that I'll be there tomorrow at 2 o'clock. And then if you guys come across anything else in the meantime that you want to see, you could also just shoot me a text and we could try to get into that one tomorrow as well.
Okay. My husband is the one that's always looking. And so I will let him know that.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds great. And I look forward to meeting you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. It looks way bigger than what I need, that's for sure. I expect when my grown adult children come home for the holidays, I have plenty of room.
Exactly.
So maybe that'll encourage them to head this direction. So yeah,
Right.
we're excited. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. And you guys have a great evening.
You too. Bye.
Okay. And in this case, Brianna is going out herself, right? Because she's an agent. So these are being passed off to her. Yeah, Brianna, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with this. It's just, these are really awkward, I mean, it's almost like when they prescribe, get the appointment, get off the phone. Why? This lady wanted to open up completely. You know what I mean? I mean, this lady's just babbling on and on about her why, which is awesome. Because that's the whole premise of what we do here on Fridays is try to figure out why they're doing it on a scale of, 1 to 10, how motivated they are. I mean, those were all possibilities here, right? So that systematic approach to really having this clarified, right? First, it was like, oh, I'm just starting. Then it was a blah, 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 right? She went off. And so, and her motivation was clearly based around the fact that she's in executive housing. It's not working for her. Executive's a nice word to hear on a phone call. So tell me what the experience is, Brianna, after a phone call like this. Now what? How do you find out what property you're even talking about?
So they inquire on Zillow. It will tell you like the property address and where it is, like if it's in Charlotte or surrounding areas. So I'll look at the property before I answer the call, not on the MLS, just like on Zillow. So I know the address that they're looking at. And then once I actually meet them in person is when I dig deeper. I ask them why they're moving, how soon they're looking to move. I think just because it's Zillow and they rush us to get off the phone, I think I just try to make it as quick as possible, which I don't know.
Yikes, man.
If I should do that.
And when Zillow starts giving advice to agents and they're not in the agency business, it's scary to me. I guess this is effective, but it's almost like this weird panic that Zillow's like in a panic that you'll all say something too much. So they tell you say almost nothing and just get off the phone and book the appointment, right?
They want you to book the appointment. That's the most important thing. It's based on all these algorithms. Part of the problem is it's a live transfer. So Brianna could be in her car. She could be at dinner. She could be at a birthday party and not have the information in front of her.
Yeah.
So saying something or trying to sound educated about the property is impossible, right? Unless you're right at your desk. But even then, you only have 10 seconds to look it up and figure it out. So the idea is to get them off the phone, book the appointment, get them off the phone, and then follow up confirming that you've got the appointment booked. And maybe you grab a couple other properties in the same area to show them at the same time.
Yeah, well, she doesn't even say that. It's chaos, Chris. It's chaos. It's chaos. I mean, it can be way better than this. I mean, I get the book the appointment part of it, but that's sort of like the first beat of any script. What is the purpose of the first beat? It is to fulfill. Hey, I see that you're looking to see this property. Even if she doesn't see it, I'm okay with that. I mean, I'm not trying to explain that into it because logistically, this is cream skimming 101, my friend. This is the business these guys are in. Like we talk about it all the time. It's ugly, but it works. So we're not gonna fret that it works. They have become the masters of cream skimming the sign call off the digital world, right? Period. That's all they are. They're the sign call digital company. So in comes the sign call. Great. Is this I heard you want to see this property. Is that correct? Wonderful. Just like to set you up for time. What works best for you? Right. So, okay, let me see if that works for me. See, she was trying to put them into her schedule. Just say what works best for you. I mean, again, we have to start off with the fulfillment. And then if that doesn't match her schedule, then she can try to readjust. But just the tonality of this is let's make at least it match our concept of fulfillment. Because the context is, I want to see this property. Wonderful. Let's get set up. What works best for you? Such and such a time, and then she goes on a little bit. Wonderful. Yeah, that will work for me. Oh, could you slide that back to 2? Would that be possible? Great. Boom. Excellent. I'll get this set up and I'll call you. This is the same thing with the expired package that goes out the door. I'll call you to make sure you got it. I'll call you once I've confirmed it, right? Once I've confirmed it with the owner, once I've confirmed it with the agent. Now, the danger of saying once I confirmed it with the agent is, oh, you're not the listing agent, because this is a bait and switch up front with Zillow. I mean, a lot of these people think they're calling Zillow to get the listing agent, and they don't understand that they're not. So I get the subtleties that you're dealing with. Wonderful. Let me just confirm that appointment. When I do, I'll call you back and let you know it's all confirmed, right? Period. And you can reference the seller because the co-broke or whoever has the listing is going to confirm it with the seller. So let me confirm this and I'll call you back. Is this the best number to reach you at? Wonderful. Let me work that out. Now she goes and does the detail. By the way, while I have you, right? I mean, it's wide open. This lady wanted to talk about it. So to me, it's you've got the agreement to book this. And rather than just say, do you want to see some other stuff? Let's just focus on getting this one booked. I'll call you to confirm it. Wonderful. Hey, by the way, will I have you? Why are we thinking about buying a house? Now she would have said all that. Really interesting. On a scale of 1 to 10, how motivated would you say you are? I'm a 9. I don't know about my husband. I'm a 9, but I'll be a 10 the minute I see something. Great. Well, what I'll do is when we meet on this house, I'll do a printout of some of the things that have sold in this price range of this area so you can see what the money's buying. And I'll bring you, a couple other things, market update, our buyer plan that I'll share with you. I mean, she can get into being more valuable very easily off of this call. So I wouldn't let Zillow dictate to me what I would be doing after the appointment is booked. They're doing that because they know the majority of the agents that they're giving these digital sign calls to suck. Period. They're no good. They've never been trained. They know that because as a major company that's skimming cream, they're learning the hardships of dealing with agents. And in the hardships of dealing with agents is they've never been trained what to say. Even when they are, you can see how hard it is for us to get it down. So they're just saying, don't say anything. Just book the appointment, get off the phone. What? Right? So, Brianna, you have a bigger opportunity here just to make this a little bit more structured so that when you go there, this is a prospectable opportunity that we talked about the other day with you, Chris, and I in the one-on-one, right? Is that we want to see that this lady quickly references that this might be out of her price range or this is, a lot of money or whatever it is. So the idea is to show up being more valuable than just opening this door. You follow me?
Yes.
Okay. So the idea would be that here we go again. We talked about this, and Chris, I don't think you were on the call yesterday, and I know Brianna wasn't, but I'm going to post the core training in this group. We did a whole call on it yesterday in the mastermind. It's about these packages. When you arrive to show that person, and obviously if you're going to present personally, you can doll it up in a better looking brochure. But when we mail them or we show up, it's about that package. You're going to walk up to that one meeting, certainly with the information for that one property, the MLS sheet for that one property. But in here, there will be 5 or 6 others. You don't even have to ask her if she likes that area, she likes that price range. Get 5 or 6 others that are for sale, and you'll have the printouts, and get 5 or 6 that have sold like that so she can see what the money's buying. So you'd have the market update, 5 or 6 solds around that property, and the buyer plan with a cover letter that I will co-write, right? Or I will write and give to you, so that when you arrive at any of these showings one-on-one, you've done more than just open that door. You've tried to turn that person into your prospect by already being proactive. Chris, you tracking me? Chris?
Yes, I already do that, Danny.
Okay. This is Brianna we're talking to.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Brianna needs to get in the office so I can get her up to speed on that.
Yep. Well, she needs to be trained 100% here, because she's going to drown doing it like that. Right? Brianna, you'll drown doing it. No wonder why you felt, a little bit lost the other day, because nobody's taught you how to properly prospect anybody, let alone these types of calls. Okay. So I can save you from this. Let's listen to the next one. See if it goes similarly.
Hi there, Alex here. I'm connecting you to a local agent now.
Hi, this is Enrique.
Actually, this is Andres. I'm calling on behalf of Enrique.
Okay. Well, my name is Brianna with Remax. How are you doing this morning?
Good.
So,
See, Brianna, right there, we don't need to do that. You know what I mean? That's a natural instinct that we're trying to be a likable character, but we just, especially with a Zillow call, let's just get to business. Okay. Oh, sorry, Enrique, or sorry, Andreas. I'm here to set up the showing for the property, right? What times work for you? Just cut right to the chase. If that's what they want you to do, play that game even cleaner than this. Your tone, Brianna, will be nice, right? It's your tone that expresses all the niceties that we need. We don't need to say, hey, how you doing? Because you know why? What's happened is he's called in. He's got a local whatever at Zillow. I'm connecting you to a local agent, and up you come. There's a lot of passing off before you arrive at that moment. You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he's already feeling bounced around. They all are. You could hear it in both calls. It's very clear to my trained ear. The first layer, oh, not Alex? Boom. That was one. She's already confused, right? As to what's happening. And we get the name wrong here. You get the wrong name, right? This is another guy.
Yeah.
So Zillow doesn't even do a good job knowing who they're talking to. They're in such a damn hurry to pass everybody off, right? So now you got to filter through that. Say, oh, I'm sorry, Andreas. I'm just here to set the appointment to see the property. What times work for you? And again, you can say that in your own nice Brianna tone, and it'll communicate, hi, how you doing? Subtly, right? You just don't need to lose the seconds in a time where, see, what's critical about telemarketing, whether it's inbound or outbound, doesn't matter. What's critical about it is time and precision and clarity in the beginning. Who are you? And why are you on the phone with me? The faster you can get that, because people are triggered by, hi, how you doing? How's it going today? A lot of lousy scripted, performances, I'll call them, on the phone for a lot of places start that way. And we're busy. Like there's stuff going on. And I just want the answer. I want to get in this house. Can I get in this house? Right? So presume everybody's like that and just have a nice tone. Hi, Danny. This is Brianna. I understand that you want to see this property, and I was just wondering what times would work for you. Right? Period. And let them talk, because all it is, that makes the pass off great. All right, you want to see this property? Let me give you a local agent. What? Here I am. What times? Follow me? Just real tight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's keep listening.
He is looking to buy 6617 First Avenue. Is that correct?
Yeah, he wants to know a little bit more about it.
Good.
And probably, put an offer. He's ready to buy cash.
Okay. Is he interested in seeing it in person, or he wants to buy it sight unseen?
He would like to see it, and I believe he says that the showing is going to start tomorrow. Is that correct?
Yes. Yep. So it's in coming soon status, and it goes active tomorrow. I could show him the house around like 2 or 3. Does that work with him? Or I could even do in the afternoon if that works as well.
See, again, I would start with them. What times would work for him, right? Give them the ball first. Now, of course, if your calendar is limited, which it is, then suggest the alternate times, okay? You're painting them into a corner pretty tightly, and we're just so early in the relationship. It's working, Brianna. It's not that it's wrong. I'm just looking for better. I'd like to hear you
Right.
offer them, first, what times would work for him, right? And let me see if I can match that with my schedule and get us in, right? I mean, that's your
Right, yeah.
premise. And if not, there's some flexibility there. So because if you say 2 to 3, and that's so limited for them, and he's busy and he can't do it or whatever, I just fret that you might be, in a position where he's going to go away. And remember, slow it down and listen. See, a lot of these calls is he's curious, he wants to get in, but he also wants more information. No problem. I'm more than happy to get him the full listing sheet in advance. Again, fulfillment is the beat. That's the word, fulfillment. They want something we need to fulfill. What do you want? You want an appointment? Wonderful, I'll book it. You want some more information? No problem. I'll send you the full MLS listing sheet prior to it coming on, right? But you can hear this. A lot of these people, you're going to have to be ready for these calls. A lot of these people are assuming you might be the listing agent, right? They don't necessarily look at Zillow and understand that the Zillow agent is not the listing agent, right? They don't understand that. All of them. Some do, some don't. Okay?
No, I think that should work for him. Let me double check here really quick. Sorry. I think that should work for him.
Okay. So we could shoot for 2, and then if anything has to be changed, I'll text you my email address and phone number when we get off the phone, and you could just let me know, and I could change the show and time.
Okay. So what do you think the house will go for?
Yeah, here we go.
I haven't actually had a chance to go through the pictures or anything, but with it being listed at $199, I'm sure it will go for way more than that, because that's a tough price point right now. So.
Yeah. The biggest thing we're looking at it is because he says that the seller's going to sell it as is, So that means, that means pretty much
I see in the notes that it says that he would like to offer $230. I mean, I think going in at $230 all cash would be a great offer, especially with it being sold as is.
Okay. So Chris, this is where Brianna's, going to need some training on technical analysis and analyzing properties. And so she doesn't paint herself in. In this case, $230,000 is given by them, but I don't know that that's right or wrong, right? I don't know that that's good or bad. So there needs to be some internal training there about, really what is the expectation of a $200,000 house in a bidding war down there? Is 230 enough? What if it's not? What if that's so light that 230 is like a laugher? We don't know that yet. So a lot of training needs to go on around, the price ranges. So I think when you two sit around and kibitz about pricing and markets, first of all, Brianna, it starts with the market update. You got to look at that with Chris and see what percentage what percentage on average. Okay. Well, I'm not worried about whether she's spot on or spot off. She needs training. So the idea is on average, what is the sold price to ask price ratio? So what is the percentage that's going over? Because you're talking about a 23% increase over the ask at 200. So what's the average? She needs to know that. She needs to know how that changes from the super low end stuff to the high end stuff. Okay. If she's spot on
with that number,
okay. If she's spot on, did he get it?
I don't remember. Did not. I don't remember why though. Brianna, do you remember?
Brianna, did he get it?
So they spoke Spanish mostly, and they ended up finding an agent that was bilingual. So he went with the other agent because I couldn't help.
Okay, so we don't.
friend.
So we don't know whether he got it or not, and we don't know whether that price is spot on or spot off. We don't know, right? So the idea is that's the challenge here. So you spend 5 minutes with this guy. How do we lose him? That's going to really be like we're blaming Spanish. Let's see if that's the only reason.
So he's thinking about the 30.
Okay. So
Do you
I
think
could,
that's too much to offer upfront?
I have it. Let me take a look through the pictures when I get in front of my computer and go over like the comps for the area and everything. And I will shoot you a text and just let you know if I think 230 is either too much or.
Okay, here's one thing you're going to root out of it, and I get it. Okay, I get it. You're young. Stop saying I'm going to shoot you a text. Okay, you're making this sound too casual. Shoot a text is not how we do it here, right? What we do is say, let me do an analysis of the property for you to ensure that 230 is the right number. I'll bring that to the showing. Here we go again. What is the value of you meeting them at the site? To bring them more information and to add your insight. No matter what meeting we're having, at a seller's house, at a buyer, showing like this, the idea is I will bring you the rest of the analysis, and I will be able to take a look at the math plus what we're seeing plus the competition. We'll see how much competition there is. Those are all the otherwise this sounds like so casual to me. Everybody's guessing here, including you, Chris. I don't mean to slap you on a call, but I don't like what you just said. I'll be frank.
We looked the property up.
I know, but I'll be frank. I don't like that. This is all too casual to me. And I don't do business like this myself. I had somebody that was going to buy a property in the same way. And he said, what do you think? I said, I don't know until I do the math. Let me do the math real quick. Let me turn it around. When I saw the math, I saw that it was the lowest end of the price range. So instead of telling him to go asking, I said, this is going to go above asking because it's at the low end of the price range. This could be as valuable as 500. They were asking 465. So we went in at 465 with an escalating clause that went up to 500. We got to 480 and one. Guy got a little greedy and he said, well, they give me another 5 and I'll call it. Laura was saying, oh, he's greedy. And I said, what? They were going to pay 500. Tell him to wrap it up at 485 because they're giving us the first bite at 485. He's going to shop it. Somebody's going to double think and buy it at 485. Boom. Get it done. All math, though. All math. So that reasonably I could talk like that to the client and Laura. Get it done. It's well within the math. And furthermore, your circumstances are you've been running around for a year with a busy landscaping business and you need to get your family settled. So less than 1 point is not going to make a big deal. That's how I talk, right? I'm listening. Yeah.
I'm just wondering why she didn't say, hey, I'll get all this information. I'll have it with me when we meet tomorrow at 2 o'clock. So I'm assuming she didn't get the deal because they called us bilingual agent and she didn't get in front of them, right?
Well, let's listen to the rest of it. Let's see what happens.
Good price to go in at.
So let me ask you, how does it work when, let's say, somebody offers more money? Would they let us know?
They usually don't. Usually in a situation like that, when they have multiple offers, they just tell you to put your best offer in to begin with. But with it being all cash usually is a better offer than somebody getting a loan just because they could close quicker. So even if somebody does offer more, there's still a good chance that with it being all cash, they could still accept his offer over somebody offering more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's the idea, See if we can even close, as soon as possible, if it's possible.
Yeah.
Do you guys do escalation clauses down there?
Not allowed to anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, so with the cash deal, you could close in a week if you wanted to. So there's definitely more possibilities with an all cash deal rather than obviously somebody having to get a loan.
Correct. The only one thing he would like to do is an inspection, so he knows what he's getting into. That's the only thing.
Okay. Yeah, we could definitely do that within a week and a half.
Yeah. So that's the only thing, like an inspection and So let me ask you, if you put an offer in, can you still do the inspection or you have to do the inspection?
So if you put an offer in on the house, there's a period called a due diligence period. And that would be the time where you would get your inspection, anything else that you wanted to do. With it being all cash, you wouldn't have to get an appraisal. But if you wanted to get an appraisal or an inspection during that period, then you would do that. Usually it's about like
Not the appraisal. Yeah.
Yeah, so the inspection is usually like the due diligence period.
Brianna, good job, but much simpler. Cut out all this noise. No problem. right? No problem. He could put an inspection in. He's still going to be cash, so he's still going to be strong.
Okay.
We can put language in that says inspection for informational purposes only. There's a lot of things you could do talking to this guy that you just don't have the experience yet, but this is why we do live coaching, so you can hear this. You're doing a good job, but we're leaving you to do it on too much of your own muscle. I'm impressed. You're young. This is pretty good for somebody that has as little experience as you do. You have really good sales instincts. And I told you this the other day, be encouraged, right? This is good. You're doing a really good job with this guy. I just want to emphasize that, because when I critique you, it's to say, hey, thank you for giving me this piece of, meat to deal with. Let's just get rid of all this fat. Make everything more concise and precise. Listen to him. Play tennis with him, right? Play tennis. And there's no need to be nervous, because you're good and you're articulate and you're quick. You're quick to respond. Could he still put it? Let me ask you a question, he says. Could he still put it in a home inspection? Absolutely. So when it's what they want, strong, right? No problem. Will that hurt him? Not necessarily, because he's still cash. Do you think 230 is enough? I'll bring an analysis to the showing to make sure it's the right number. Boom, 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 boom. Precise, right? Very precise. But Lee echoed exactly what I said, and what we teach here is that there has to be more value to you when you arrive. This is not about Spanish. I'm telling you it's not. Okay? He's asking questions. Something else happens where he gets to somebody else in the meantime. Let's see what happens. And by the way, I think Zillow leads are like that. There's no loyalty in a Zillow lead. It's cream skimming right off the street. This guy doesn't know you, so you have a very limited time to prospect him. That's why that meeting has to be more valuable. I will bring you an analysis versus somebody saying in Spanish, I'll just meet you down at the property. Oh, you're bilingual. Wonderful, right? That's not the value here. The value is what I will bring you to help you make an informed decision. And if you should so decide to compete once you see the property, then we'll write the offer based on what we see. Will there be a lot of people there? I'll talk to the listing agent to see how many offers there are. What's most important to the seller in the offer? Is cash even important? Is closing time important? Right? We don't know any of that until we get there and add the value in the situation. That's how we won this for our other, client I just told you about. I said, call up Sue Songer and ask her what's most important to the seller, Laura. Find out what's important. And in his case, it was squeezing every ounce of money out. So we gave it to him because it was reasonable for our client. So it's just, you've got to see yourself arriving at the appointment with more value in your hands. Okay. So that there's a reason to meet you versus anybody else that might try to sneak in and steal the showing. Let's see where it ends.
It's usually like a week, week and a half, maybe 2 weeks max. But you could definitely get an inspection during that period. Yes.
Okay.
Good.
Sounds good. And you said 2:00 is the earliest you can do tomorrow?
Yeah, I have showings up until like 1, and then it's like an hour drive. So I could be there at 2. And then
Okay, too transparent. That's what killed you right there. I'll guarantee you. This is not about Spanish. It's that line right there that really hurt you.
Easy for you.
It's really hurt you. Okay? Because it sounded all about you. And then when you said you're an hour away, who cares where you are? The minute you say you're an hour away, now all of a sudden you're not even local. You're not even a local expert. Follow me?
yeah.
Okay. That line right there, too much transparency. And it's not important to them. And he's saying, can you get there earlier? So I'll guarantee you just found somebody who get him there earlier and sounded more local. Let's listen.
I'm free anytime in the afternoon as well. So if he needs to do later, I could also do 5, 6, whatever.
Yes. Send me a text message with the information in case something changes.
Okay.
Because you never know, something can happen.
Yeah.
And then I'll text you.
Okay, yeah.
But let's shoot for 2:00.
On my computer, I'll go through all the pictures and everything and just let you know what I think about that 2:30.
Yeah, too much, right? It's like you forget. You keep sounding like you know nothing about this, which is true. You don't, but you don't have to sound that way. It's almost like you're emphasizing that, right? Don't emphasize it. And remember, say, I will do an analysis so that when I meet you at the property, we will have a pricing analysis, and I will be able to tell you what a good or not so good number is. Right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Questions, thoughts as you hear me go through that?
No, I think my big thing is I feel like me being just brand new into the business, and especially Zillow wanting different things, I just struggle really bad with what to say when I'm on the phone with them. And I don't want to say too much, but I don't want to say nothing at all and like rush off the phone.
Yeah.
But they try to tell us to keep it under like 2 or 3 minutes max.
Yeah.
So I try to rush everything.
Yes. Stop doing that. Stop listening to Zillow. They're not agent trainers. Stop listening to them. They're nothing more.
Step in real quick.
Yeah, hang on. They're nothing more than lead generators. That's all they are. That's all they'll ever be at the moment, unless they change it. Right? This is really like ugly training, because now this is what I told you. They're giving you the perception that you're supposed to hit a certain number. You're supposed to listen to this person. If it's a 5-minute call because you're being of service and they want to talk to you, good for you. If they want to be concise, then be concise. But in any case, you need a formula beneath you. 1, I'm here to set up the appointment for you. What time works for you? Okay. What time works for you? Well, he'd really like to see it in the morning. And if you can't see it in the morning and you think you're going to use it, you and Chris need to start working together. There needs to be somebody else that can cover it, right? If you sense that you're going to lose somebody because you can't do it, maybe somebody else can get it started. Maybe you can split it, but you have to practice fulfilling that. I'm here to set up the appointment. What time works best for you? Boom, we'd like to see it here. And then he starts to open up. Great. I'll be bringing an analysis on the property in the case that you want to write up an offer so we can see what the right price range is. Okay. And I'll also be bringing some other properties that have sold so you can see what the money's buying around it, and some other for sales in case this one doesn't work. So you have to build up what's in the package of information. It's almost like going to a listing presentation for me, because I would have the analysis in there. I would have the market update. I would have the solds, and I would have the plan. So it's very similar. I'm actually going to analyze this property almost like I was going to list it, so I can show them whether they've done the right thing. Then I can see what's going on. But I don't think this is a matter of time. And you're right. It's a matter of experience. Stop letting Zillow put you under any kind of pressure. I get what they're saying. Book the appointment first. That's what they should be saying. Just book the appointment. But to tell you to get off the phone at a certain amount of time, why? 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 Right? 30 seconds versus 5 minutes. Why? You got to give me.
It's all under the premise of we don't necessarily know the property that they're calling about. And again, Brianna could be in her car. She could be standing on a balcony doing another show. Who knows where the hell she is? So they're like, hey, look, get the appointment, identify their motivation, and are there any other properties in the area that you'd like to see at the same time? Great. I'll get those set up and circle back with you in 2 hours when I get to my desk, or, whatever the case is. So we're really close in being aligned. In all the things that you mentioned fulfill the Zillow requirement. It's just we're doing it in a little bit different order with your suggestion. That's all.
I don't know if I agree with that statement either. Let's talk more next week. You need a script.
Does Zillow record the calls
Yes.
when they transfer it? Why isn't there a transfer like an introduction either? I don't understand.
There
that.
is.
There is. Okay.
Yeah. So they record. Yeah, good question. They record all the calls, and we have to score them ourselves, and then forward this whole spreadsheet to them with the scores, and they listen to them and say, okay, yeah, we agree with your score, blah blah blah, and we have to meet all these metrics to advance with Zillow for the high end shit, all the luxury stuff, and it's just a process. I mean, you get it. Right.
So my only thought too is that all that stuff that she talked to him about on the phone, in my opinion, I would prefer to do it at the house in front, person to person, because first of all, she doesn't know anything about the property. So I would have just kept saying, hey, listen, we'll talk about it tomorrow. what's a good time to meet you? Okay, I'm going to set it up, and then you can go back to the office, get educated, be ready for the appointment when you meet him to talk about all that stuff.
I don't know if
I know how to handle those conversations.
I don't know if I agree with you either.
I had one yesterday that was just like that. I was in my car. I got the Zillow call. I was able to just say, hey, I'm in my car right now. I'm going to be in my office in 20 minutes. Let me get in front of the paperwork. Let me get in front of this, and I'll call you back when I know more. I just need to get in front of the file. Whatever you say. And people appreciate that. So I can come back. I can come to the office. I can pull the listing up. I can call a listing agent and be educated when I call them and set the appointment up. So every
Wait,
scenario.
can I ask a question real quick?
Of course.
So my thing with that is, if you answer your phone when you're in the car or you're busy or something, wouldn't the person on the other end of the phone like wonder why you even answered the call in the first place and kind of
maybe
I
not.
don't know what I'm trying to say.
Well, maybe not, because look, it's a good question. It's a fair question. I think first of all, what I'm trying to teach you today is it's all about them. Right? In the beginning, any kind of a lead that we get, no matter what kind of a lead it is, it's all about them, and it's all about fulfilling what they want. Right? So the idea, the premise here that Zillow, and I respect Zillow in that they've painted themselves into a box with their business model. What they've become is nothing more than a trusted digital sign call, in my opinion. Okay. And so you're getting this digital sign call, meaning somebody's online and they see it, and they call on it, versus the old days of driving by and seeing a sign. So if you get presumably a busy agent, it makes sense. It makes sense that you're a real agent, that you've got showings in the morning, or that you're in your car and, hey, you just got me in between showings. Let me get in front of the file, or, what works for you tomorrow if you know the schedule. I mean, I think that's just a call that Chris is dealing from more of a position of plenty than you are. So you might not feel as secure to say, hey, I'll call you back, as he does, because you're a new agent. You're like, oh, hell no, I want this call. So I'm okay with both of you doing different things, because he's in a position of plenty and he's more experienced and you're not. So to me, I would say that if you get one of these calls, unless you're already late somewhere, you take it, pull over to the side of the road and have just an intelligent conversation. I just think this rushing thing is if you slow it down and get rid of the fat, I'll give you a 10 out of 10 as a grade. I'll grade you. I don't need anybody else to grade you, because I'll listen to your effectiveness. I'll listen to what happened. And if I'm grading this last call, I can tell you right at the end of it, when you start to be not flexible with your schedule and you say you're coming an hour away, it's almost like you put a pin in the side of your balloon, but you were doing great. So I don't know where you were when you took that call, but that was really the final straw that made you vulnerable. Right. And then just not knowing, like Lee's saying somewhere, I didn't really agree with what Lee said either, to wait, because this guy was wanting these answers to this question on the phone. So I wouldn't put him off. And again, those are two pros, Lee and Chris talking. I'm talking to a rookie. I don't think you should blow him off. I think you should say, well, what I'll do is I'll make an analysis to see if the 230 is the right offer price. So when I arrive at the meeting, I'll have the analysis, right? And that could be just 5 or 6 properties that sold in the neighborhood, and you're showing them, hey, look, here's what the money's buying in this neighborhood. Yes, of course, we can do a home inspection. Wise to do it anyway. And so just getting him to understand that you're coming with value, but you heard him. You're not good enough. And I don't think Lee should do it anyway, but you're not good enough to ignore those questions. See, some of us, we could say, look, when I meet you tomorrow, I'm going to have everything with me. Okay. You're going to see the analysis. I'm going to take a look at the situation and see how much competition we have, we don't have, what's important to the seller. There will be a lot of variables we'll deal with on site, but I will answer everything there. Okay. But again, I think what hurts you here, your schedule just doesn't align with his, because it turns out they want to do it sooner than later because there's a sense of urgency in this, right? So when did he blow you off?
What do you mean? Like after I talked to him?
Yeah, he blew you off. You were supposed to meet him. When did he blow you off?
So after we got off the phone, I sent him a text and an email, just confirming the appointment. And then that morning of the appointment, he just said that the guy that he was actually inquiring for found another agent that spoke Spanish.
Yeah. See, there's the other complication. You weren't even talking to the decision maker. You're not even talking to the decision maker.
Speak English.
You don't even talk to you're not even talking to the decision maker. That's even another challenge, right? But what did we say? He sent you the text in the morning. And what did he say? Could you do it in the morning? Right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's circumstantial evidence, but it's pretty obvious, isn't it? I think you did great, though. I mean, I really did. I just think this is a very coachable moment for you. I really don't have anything negative to, well, I don't like to say negative things anyway. I like to be direct in my coaching. I think this is easily improved. I think you did the best you could with what you knew. So good job.
Thank you.
Yeah. And next week we'll get back on the phone with Chris and we'll tighten this up for both of you. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah. You need a script, my dear. All these top producers in this group, all of these top producers in this group are way too quick to get off of a script. All of them. Chris, Lee, everyone. Oh, way too quick because they're good. They're really
Mostly
good.
just Lee.
Yeah.
What about me? I'm not like that.
It's mostly Lee.
Well, Gail, you're
Oh,
much,
me too.
Gail, you're much better than those two. And it is mostly just Lee.
Please.
All right, before we lose ourselves. All right, Maxie, where are you?
Hey, thanks, Danny.
You're welcome,
I'm
buddy.
here.
Good job. Good job. Hey,
Thanks,
no,
Brianna.
Chris, you and Brianna,
Thank
I
you,
like it.
Chris.
We got 2 calls in and we've already made huge progress, haven't we? Right?
I think so. Do you, Brianna?
Yeah, I definitely think so.
You've learned a lot.
Sure.
And I think listening to them
Yeah.
over and over again
Yep.
just points out something new every time that I did wrong or could have done better.
You got it. Here we go. Maxie.
You transfer in the office. Bye.
Here we go.
Yep.
Hello.
Hi, Jabari.
Hi, Maxie. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing good. I spoke with you last night. You came in through one of our property search websites. I just wanted to make sure you're receiving the right properties. Is that okay?
Yeah. No, I've been getting what I needed in terms of just right now previewing the kinds of things that are available in the Seattle area.
Okay.
So everything is fine so far.
Okay, lovely. And just to make sure, the only areas that you're interested in would be the greater Seattle area?
Only areas are Greater Seattle, yes.
Okay. And for 1 bed, 1 bath, is this for a condo?
Yeah, I'm only interested in condos.
Condos. Okay. And you put in here as well, 823 maximum price point.
Well, I may have put that in there, but I meant to say
800.
800,000.
Okay, let me go ahead and get that changed. All right, so I'll go ahead and get that set up. So the listings would be coming from our site, seattlehomebuyersguide.com. I'll be also including for you like pictures of homes that recently sold in your price point, so you know what people are buying in this price range. I'll check back with you next week just to make sure you're receiving these alerts. Is that okay? Is this for a condo?
I want to listen again to something.
Yeah, I'm only interested in condos.
Condos. Okay. And you put in here as well, 823 maximum price point.
Well, I may have put that in there, but I meant to say 800,000.
Okay. Let me go ahead and get that changed. All right. So I'll go ahead and get that set up. So the listings would be coming from our site, seattlehomebuyersguide.com. I'll be also including for you like pictures of homes that recently sold in your price point, so you know what people are buying in this price range. I'll check back with you next week.
Okay. I had a big debate with Duran about that the other day. Did he already give you that language or is that just from training with me?
Just from training with you.
Bravo. Thank you for listening to me. Yeah. Thank you for listening, because that's an example of adding value. See, sometimes all these top producers, they get up in their head about what they should and shouldn't do. And they don't get it from the perspective anymore of the consumer, right? So we're losing ourselves into how we think things should go versus listening. So you just did something nice there. You went from just giving him properties in the greater Seattle to properties that sold so he can get that insight. And it was so smooth and it was so easy. It wasn't this big thing that Duran thinks it is. I want you to give him this recording and I want you to tell him to listen for when you offer that so he sees how easy it is to slip in. Okay?
Okay.
Oh, come on. Keep playing. Froze up on me. Hang on. Might have to start it again. Hang on. It was very good. It was a very good call. You know, and funny last week, you know, you and Russell.
I was rushing.
I know. Well, you and Russell had a snapback, and it was the same one. And I told Duran, I said it's interesting how training matters every week because it's so easy to just snap back to doing it rushing on muscle. Let me just get this to where we were.
So you know what people are buying in this price range. I'll check back with you next week just to make sure you're receiving these alerts. Is that okay?
Sure, that's fine. I'm only interested in things in the pretty much in the shoreline area around Echo Lake.
Okay, let me go. Thank you for sharing that. Shoreline around Echo Lake. And by the way, Jabari, while I have you, why were you looking at moving?
Second home.
Oh, okay. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how motivated are you into buying?
7 or 8.
Good.
7 or 8.
Bravo.
Okay. And what's that last bit that's missing to make you a 10?
The quality of the home I can get at the price that I am most comfortable with.
Okay, that makes sense. So just to check if that property comes on the market, is that something that you're looking at jumping sooner, or would you still need to wait till a few more months to get ready? What's the situation?
No, I'm ready now.
You are
ready now.
Okay, lovely. And do you have a realtor?
But at the same time, there's no rush because
Exactly.
Because you know it's just I have a home in the Bay Area right now, so there's no rush to get that. It's just all about the finding something that's a good deal within the price range that I'm interested in.
I love how quiet you are right here.
Not really in a
Good.
rush, but if that perfect property comes in the market, you're willing to jump in. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Okay. And do you have a realtor to help you when the time comes?
I have been talking to someone who's got a office in the Bay Area, but they also have an office in the Seattle area.
Got it. So you would need to like get in touch with him first. Are you committed to working with him, or would you still be open
Good
to
correction.
interviewing other agents?
Well, they are sending me properties also, and they've been very good. So you know, I'm committed to going with the best deal. But if they are able to come up with it, then I would go with them.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for sharing that. So, Jabari, let me just go ahead and share this with you. There's a very helpful tool to keep you updated with listings that are active, that are relevant, and that exactly fit your criteria. That platform is called Northwest MLS, nwmls.com. And what it does is that it gives you priority access to hot listings sometimes before you see them on our site, on Zillow and Redfin, meaning to say before the other buyers get to see them or put an offer. There's no commitment to getting you set up there.
Well
There's
done.
no cost, no obligation whatsoever.
Well done.
Would that be helpful for
Right
you?
now, I'm fine simply because you know I'm not in a rush unless something pops up that's really interesting. So the process I've been using in terms of just going to sites like you were able to find me based on the fact that I just visited one of your sites that allowed me to put in identifying information. So that's been working fine for me.
Okay, lovely. All right, well, I'll go ahead and get this set up for you then. I'll check back with you in a week. If something comes up between now and then, if you feel that you'd like to add additional criteria, just let me know. I'd be very happy to assist.
All right, this is tricky, right? This one's tricky. And it's tricky because he's kind of committed, right?
Yeah.
He's kind
I
of.
still went with the offer though.
I know. And I liked it. And I liked it. And I said it was really good because you made it sound like something better than what he was getting, right? But then he rebuffed you. And so, the question is, What do you do with a guy like this? And this is why this job is so difficult. Right there, that example, because where you leave off with him is good. I'll call you next week. But really, it's almost like this guy's at the point where we need to either turn him into somebody or not. And it's a little bit iffy because he's takeable, right? I mean, you could get him, but you'd have to do something special and different from the other people who are just sending properties because they're clearly not doing the job well enough, which is very typical of people that just drip on people, right? So this is my point to Duran about the sold information. What I would do is I would send this guy a bunch of solds in the shoreline area and say, are any of these things the types of houses that would make you a 10, right? And if my agents could find you something like this, would you consider working with us? You see what I'm saying? I think you now squeeze this guy to the edge to make a decision. He's either going to give you a shot for the business or not. Get it in the hands of the agent, and maybe it's there for the steal, right? And not stealing from somebody and disrespecting another relationship, but his relationship's weak. He can't even name the agent, right? It's a brokerage down in, San Francisco who supposedly has an office here. And, I would say the only thing, if I went back and try to clarify, what agency is that, right? Is there a specific agent up here you're dealing with? You could go a little bit further to get the clarity and the depth of his relationship, okay?
Okay.
But otherwise, this is back to you this week, right? This is back to you. Way better, right? Just be careful of that snapback because last week was a little shaky, right?
Yeah.
Russell, you up next? You there?
I'm here.
Okay, pal, here we go. Don't forget to give that to Duran, though, and tell him that sold line.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
Hi, Banshilem. Hi, this is Russell with Wise Barth and Associates. I'm calling because I saw you registered on our property search website. I want to make sure we're sending you the right properties. Is that okay?
Wow, your tone here is way better.
It looks like,
Oh, it's so hard
yeah,
to
the
hear
website
her.
you registered on is SeattleHomeBuyersGuide.com. Looks like you have a search set up for Edmonds. Is that the area of choice? Edmonds and Shoreline? Okay. Yeah, Edmonds and Shoreline, right? Okay. And I see here the search is set up for 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, up to 577,000. Is that all correct?
Yeah, that's a little expensive, my plan.
Mm-hmm.
This house that I'm looking for, that one.
Okay, somewhere in that range.
The same price. Yeah, a little high, my range.
Mm-hmm. What would you say is your max price range?
415 until.
450. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll set up your search on our website to make sure you receive property updates, and I'll check back with you next week to make sure you're getting that. Okay.
Okay.
And by the way, while I have you on the line, why were you thinking about making a move?
When I move.
Oh,
Where?
why were you? Yeah, why were you looking for a home, or why were you searching online?
How can I do? I'm not going everywhere. I'm searching for the houses online.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how motivated are you to make a move or buy a home?
I know that I'm looking for not townhouse, but my plan is I'm searching. You have to give it to me a lot of house, very expensive, more than 1 million. I don't afford for that.
Okay. So are you
Russell, what did she say? Why? It's so hard to hear on your calls. The other side. You got to try to fix that tech for me. But what was her why?
I gotta listen to the call again. But it seems like there's a little bit of communication barrier.
Definitely. There's a language barrier on this one. It's really.
She was just saying something about she needs to move or needs to
Yeah, she really started to babble here. She's a difficult call. She's really babbling. and she doesn't really know what she's doing. Quality.
No, on the Y. So
Yeah.
I guess she misunderstood the question. First, she didn't quite understand, but then when I rephrased it, and I guess I rephrased it wrong because I asked her, "Why are you looking online?" And then she basically took that part literal. So she's saying, "Oh, that's where I can, see properties or whatever."
Yeah.
Something like that. So it seemed to be a little bit of a
There's a big communication gap, which makes some of these calls difficulty. There's a language barrier here. You're doing a great job. Your tone is great. You get a little rushy there through that second beat. I liked how you finished the first beat. It's good. So, you've got an excuse if she's good. Don't forget the job that you and Maxie have here is to make sure that we don't keep, pushing this stuff into the future if they're no good, right? I mean, right now I'm sitting here listening to this and it's like, right? I mean, it's well below, it's a good number. Everything's a good number. We don't sniff at it, but it's well below the median in the area. So is it even a real viable, is it a viable, achievable deal in Seattle these days in Shoreline? 450. Can you get anything for 450 in Shoreline?
maybe a condo.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe. So this is really at the lowest end of the viability range too. So let's keep listening.
You're looking to buy as soon as you find the right home in the right price range, or did you need some time to get ready?
Yeah, I find the right one.
Mm-hmm.
I'll decide it right away.
Okay.
I don't have any way to it.
So right away, if you find the right home, and do you have a realtor to help you out when the time is right?
By the way, this one's the first time.
First time.
How to? Yeah, I know some knowledge for how to recently buy the house. What's the looking? What's the important thing? But the first time I'm searching for looking the website.
I see. Well, since you're so motivated, I think it would be a good idea to get you priority access to listings from all the different companies directly from the source of information. This way you have the most updated information and you'll know about the good deals before they show up on the public websites.
Oh, public website?
Yeah, you'll know about the good deals before they show up on the public websites. Do you think that would be helpful for you?
I don't know. You said better. I will look at that one. You have to send me my email.
Yeah, when would be well, to get this set up, I would have to get you connected with one of my business partners so they can get, customize your search and get exactly what you're looking for. When's a good time to get you on the phone? Are you more available mornings or afternoons?
Most of the time, morning also is not bad.
Mornings? Yeah, how does maybe sometime next week, during the week?
All right, good. Let's leave it at that. I think you're doing the best you can with this, Russell. I mean, this is way better than last week for both you and Maxie. This is back to it. You're doing the best job. This is just, it's just okay. You know what I mean, as far as a lead is concerned, but I think you're doing the best you can with it, especially since there is a communication barrier. What I like about this is your patience. And then it's just like, hey, my job is to get an agent on the phone. She says she's motivated. She sounds worthy of an appointment. Let's pass this off to an agent. You found a heartbeat, right? It's the best you can do with this.
Yeah. And as far as the price range goes, that's not my call or anything. We just leave it to the agent.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. I get that. I mean, you're doing what you're supposed to do, dealing with what's in front of you, and you do a good job. I mean, I really don't have much critique because you went back to, I think you got a little bit rushed in the middle because there's a communication barrier, right? So just keep your nice slow pace, let her talk, right? And close her one way or the other, because the worst thing you could do with a lead like this, the worst thing is not bring it to a conclusion on this phone call. That's the worst thing. Worst. I mean, if this sounded like it was wishy-washy, then I'd say it's not a good lead, get rid of it. If this one sounds like it does, where maybe if she saw something, she'd buy it, get it to the agent, let them decide, right? So you do as well with this as you could possibly. So good job.
Thanks.
Yep. All right. I've got 2 from Doug and 2 from Carla that will wrap the show up. Doug, are you here now?
Hi, Danny.
Yes, I am.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, Carla, we got you too. All right, let's go to Doug's. Well, Carla, you're after.
Okay. Hello.
Yes, hi. Is Ralph there, please?
Who is calling, please?
Yeah, this is Doug Wiseman.
In reference to what, please?
Oh. Well, group Remax. I was calling because I saw that he was the personal representative for a probate estate, and I'd like to send him something to help him get him through the process.
For what state? For what estate?
It's a probate estate. He's in our folder.
Hey, Doug, just out of curiosity, Lee, are you still here too?
Leah?
Lee and Doug. Lee and
Yeah.
Doug.
Down here.
Okay,
Right here.
Lee, you should have Doug call you. This is the second time there seems to be some outbound call issues. It could just be the recording guys for the call, but there's definitely some breakup in your phone, Doug. So I don't know. I don't know whether that, Lee, you should have him call a variety of different phone numbers to see if something's wrong with his line on the outbound. Okay.
Who's listed as a personal representative for a probate estate, and down here in Montgomery County, Maryland, the date was June 30th, 2021.
I got you. Hold on, please. Tell me your name again.
Oh, it froze. Hey, I'm glad it froze anyway, though, because one of the things I wanted to say is, why are you just saying it's Doug Wiseman? Any reason?
No, I generally do say the Stillwell group. To be honest with you, I don't know. I did identify.
Well, it's the reason
at first, but
yeah.
it did cut off, and I'm not so sure that it is my headset or is not someone else's, because I've talked to a few people and they say, oh, I do have a bad problem. I do have a bad phone connection or whatever. But
Yeah.
I'm going to look into my headset.
I would look into the headset. Something's off, that I'm sure of. But one of the things, because sometimes just saying your name can be effective. It can be the curiosity, but she calls you out like I would call you out. Well, what's the context? And I think that's, when we did these scripts, it's to be very transparent. Hi, this is Doug Wiseman from Remax. Reason I'm calling is because I saw that he is the administrator of the estate of XYZ, right? I don't think we have to go into the date. If you have the name of the estate, you can just reference it, because she gets it. She gets it. And then she's sort of like, yeah, I got it. Hang on. So hang on. I have to refresh this. Unfortunately, it froze up.
Sorry. Yeah, I don't.
Hang on.
I don't know why that did. Okay.
No, that's.
Hey, Danny. Also, I told Doug, going into too much information just confuses the people.
Well, that's exactly what we trained Brianna on today. It's just too much. You don't need that much, right?
Okay.
Hello? Again?
Doug Wiseman.
All right, hold on, please. I think this is something about the probate, about hearing.
Hello.
Hi, Ralph. This is Noon, and I'm with the Stillwell Group Remax. And the reason I was calling is because I saw that you were the personal representative for a probate estate, and I'd like to send you some to help you get you through the process. May I do that?
Good.
No, I have someone already that is handling that.
Okay. Would you be interested in a second opinion, or?
No, it's pretty much a done deal. This is a person that buys up property and has offered a way to acquire that. So I don't want to interfere with that process. But I thank you for offering to submit another opinion.
Yeah, I mean, we have a library of contacts, and that could help you with that.
Okay, experientially here, like you just don't have the experience. Say, is that an offer that's already been written?
Okay.
Yeah, just period. Like, once you hear that, that's just experiential. You wouldn't have known that necessarily. So, Lee could go out there and take a look at it. Say, where are you at in that process? Right? Have you already received an offer in writing?
Oh, okay.
Right. That's it. That's a tough one because you just haven't had that experience. But there you go. That's why we listen to call. There you go. Yeah.
For you, Danny.
What's that?
Okay. Well, on the previous one that I think broke up a little bit more, I was mentioning this to Lee in a written format. It was missed. The lady did actually joke, or she smiled and joked about something, and I picked. picked up on the fact right away, that he was a judge. And she did say, okay, can you tell me a little bit more about this? And I said, well, it's a probate in the state at this address. And then I said, does the name, and the name was impossible to pronounce, wasn't 18 syllables, but she said, yes, I'm familiar with that, but very sheepishly. So she knew who it was. And this lady is the associate or legal clerk or, admin or something. She knows the same thing as, Paul Allen's admin would, at Microsoft. So, she did. She said, then she did say, okay, can you send me an email with this? And I got it down, and I did make darn certain that about the email, because the guy had an odd name and there was a letter left out. So then the day when I was talking to our admin, Tracy, at our office, when I wrote her, I said, look, this is correct, because she just wrote me an email an hour ago saying, hey, here's some street name I don't understand in a town of ours. And I wrote her back and I said, the guy was just rude, but I'm going to text him back and make sure that I get it. So I understand that. I'm just saying that this might be a long shot, but the guy probably has 10,000 attorneys, but that he knows, but you just never know. And so we're going to represent ourselves electronically the best we can, it looks like.
Good. All right, let's listen to this next one here.
Michael Dawson's office.
Oh, okay. That's it.
Yes, is Michael there, please?
I'm sorry, he's on the bench. Can I take a message?
Oh, okay. No, I will.
You definitely have a phone problem. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's happening while you're talking to me. It's happening on every single one of your calls, and that will dramatically help you to fix your technical issue, because that's probably throwing the people listening to you off.
I don't let my telemarketers use a headset because of that.
Right.
If you're using
All right,
Mojo,
hold
or whatever
on,
you're using-
Gail. Gail, hold on.
Doug Wiseman. Could you leave him a voicemail? I mean, a message, take a message for him. Okay, so Doug Wiseman, Wiseman, with the Stillwell Group, 4L. Remax. And I was calling him because he was a personal representative for probate. I wanted to see if I could, send him something to help him through the process. And he can reach me at 202-431-8.
Okay, and is this for sales property?
Well, like I said, it's he's the
personal representative, yes.
Representative for a probate estate, and
Okay, all right. I'm just going to stop it there. You just got to tighten this up. You know what I mean? You're not familiar enough with this yet, and so you got to familiarize yourself with this, and it's got to be tighter than this. But my bigger concern this week with you is just you have a technical issue. You got to solve it. It's clear, in all your recordings while you're talking to me here, you got to fix your technical issue, because it's hard to even coach it because it's so staccato. Like she's almost like trying to help you through it too, because it's hold on, listen. It's starting to make you sound like you're stuttering. Okay. Like you're fumbling and stumbling because you're coming in and out and you have to backtrack. And I don't think you realize that's why people are having that kind of staccato relationship with you. So until we can fix the tech issue, I want to be careful not to overanalyze one of your calls to see how much of that is playing into you struggling to communicate with them, right? Because this is a struggle.
Okay, I got a tech question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have a new laptop, but it's now, it's not new. I've had it since September the 7th or something. And it was just until recently where anyone said anything about, I think it was the last call with you, because normally I could sit back, figuratively with, my hands behind my head. People never said anything about it. I've tested it with friends, but I do have a tech a guru who's going to check this out with me tomorrow. He said, well, it could be your computer, but it also could be your headset. And I said, I got the headset in January. I've never dropped it. Never had a problem with it. I was using it a lot before I was doing calls here. But, maybe I've got to call the Logitech back and have them send me a new one.
Yeah. You got a problem with the headset or something.
Okay,
cool. All right, let's move on. Carla. Carla.
Yes. Hi, may I speak with Ruben or Charles?
You got Charles.
Hi, Charles. It's Barbara with Home Investors. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Great. I'm calling to follow up with the appointment you had with Scott yesterday. I just want. Was he on
Hold
time?
on. Let me put you on speakerphone.
Okay, great.
There we go.
Okay. So was he on time? Was he polite? Did he answer all of your questions?
He was late because he had to get new tires on his car.
Oh.
But
he had a blowout.
Yeah, so he was an hour late, but he called us.
Whoa, who's this? Who's Barbara? Who's this? Who went? Is Barbara with you, Carla?
Yes, she's here.
Okay, Barbara, who went on the appointment? I can't hear her. She with you?
Are you unmuted?
Yeah, she's here.
Okay.
It was Scott Jones' appointment.
Jonesy got a flat tire?
His car blew out. Yeah, his tire blew out. Yeah.
Jeez. Tell Jonesy I said, upgrade your car, brother. There's such things in the modern day called run flat tires. That knucklehead. All right.
He's going to be a little bit late.
He's going to be a little bit later, probably about.
Oh, come on. Sorry, it froze up. Hang on. Talk about tech issues, Gail, huh? Come on.
It is amazing.
I'm having him too. Let me try to get this.
Oh.
Hi, may I speak with
Barbara, I would just be careful of saying things like, was he nice to you and stuff like that. It was funny to me, but you be careful of that stuff, okay? That's just my first critique.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, let's see.
He had a blowout.
Yeah, so he was an hour late, but he called us ahead of time that he wasn't going to make
He's going to be a little bit late.
He was going to be a little bit later, probably about an hour.
No, about a half hour late.
Okay, well, at least he called you, right?
Yeah. He did call. He did come out. He looked at the property. He was very informative on what our options could be. He made an offer. Well, not an offer. He made
an offer. He did make an
offer. And then now it's in our ball with what we'd like to do with them.
Okay, and he gave you his business card?
He gave me his business card, yes.
And what was the offer he gave you, if you don't mind me asking?
All right. Okay, so ladies, I'm really lost here. What is the purpose of this call?
I'm calling a follow-up from an appointment the day before.
Okay, and you didn't talk to Scott about the appointment? Or Scott didn't call you and tell you about the appointment?
I don't always get a chance to talk to Scott before the follow-up. No, that's a little difficult to touch with that time.
That's on him. If you ever said anybody, all of you primary people on this call that go out to the appointments, that's on you to communicate with telemarketing. This isn't right that she's left to do this. Okay. And it starts to make the company seem like it's Keystone Cops, not you. You're doing great. Your conversational tone is excellent. I like where you're at, but it's sort of like are you part of the same company? I'm kind of scratching my head, because what should have happened is Scott should have said, here's what happened. I went out. Unfortunately, I was late, blew a tire, got there, made an offer. They're thinking about it. Just your follow-up is to just touch base and see when would be an appropriate time to see if that offer is acceptable. You know what I mean? Like this is really just a conversation. It's good, but he has left you to do it on muscle. To me, that is not acceptable, right? You have to tell your telemarketing department what just happened at the appointment. Who booked this appointment for Scott?
I did.
Okay. See, yeah, you booked it for him, and you should always call him before calling back, or he should always call you right after the meeting.
I understand.
Yeah. Otherwise, he's leaving you to make these calls blindly. I mean, it sounds like you're feeling around in the dark for an answer, right? You're doing fine. There's nothing wrong with you. But this is what poor internal communication sounds like, right?
I think it was 104,000. Well,
140.
140.
140. Okay. And what were you looking for?
Actually, okay, since we're selling as is, he said we probably can get 225 if we went in,
Stripped all the wallpaper out.
the wallpaper and didn't sell it as is. Took all the furniture out and then tried selling it with a regular realtor.
Okay.
It'd be about 225, and that's probably what he would be asking when he sold it.
Okay.
But at this point, because he's got to make a profit too, he's talking about putting 30,000 into it as far as
Updating the unit. Making it
updating the unit with new, because we don't have marble.
Let's get some new countertops.
Who's the guy in the background that keeps trying to clean it up?
He said the flooring was fine.
He liked it.
He wanted to redo both bathrooms into tile instead of the
Feeling plate stuff.
Right.
Well, he'd like to go tile in both bathrooms instead of
Fiberglass.
the fiberglass units that are in there now,
Right.
just to update. And that's where he left us. Then he said, for him to make a profit, him putting 30,000 into it, we have to be reasonable and see. He's not going to give us 200,000, obviously, but he was saying, he gave us 140, but he could crunch the numbers to see if he could get us any more, depending on the cost that he's thinking about putting into the place.
Okay.
And that's where he left us. We have an appointment next week with Sunday.
Okay.
And so we're not eliminating him. I found him very nice, very knowledgeable.
We were impressed.
I was very impressed with him. Very nice person.
Okay, great. Okay. Yes. So when you guys finish talking about it, when you decide to go ahead and call Scott, or you can call me and I can get you in touch with Scott either way. And hopefully we can do business together.
Okay. Well, like I said, I was very impressed with Scott, and he was, he told us the way it is. You got to be realistic. This is the way we want to sell it. Our intention is to sell, get into an Airstream, and go to Ohio with our granddaughter.
Oh.
And Orlando and New York and New Orleans.
So that's where we're at now. So we got to be realistic compared to what we owe on the unit. We owe 76 or between 76 or 78.
Okay.
Our mortgage left on the mortgage.
Okay.
So we were looking at at least enough to get into an Airstream, which is about 40.
Okay, I'm going to stop it there because I just wanted to see if we could get anywhere. This needs structure, but it's good. And the problem is internal communication. I mean, Scott should never leave an appointment that you got. Really, what you should do, Barbara, and Carla, is that when these guys, Scott or Kyle, leave an appointment, seek out the feedback from them. If they don't call you immediately and give it to you, seek out the feedback. What I do is I'll go and leave at least a voice text immediately when I walk out the door as to what the next step is. And then we need some sort of a follow-up clarification here. So tell Kyle that I want to work on that with him next week. And it wouldn't be a bad idea for the three of you to meet with me on Kyle's one-on-one next week to tighten this up. Okay.
All right. I'll let him know.
Yep. Good. Carla, what's your opinion on that?
No, that sounds really good. I was just going to say that
mainly I deal right now with Kyle, the retail. Kyle's great at calling me as soon as he's finished with an appointment that I set up for him.
Yep.
He'll call me when he's in the car saying, hey, Carla, I just left. It went great or whatever. Okay, I'll put it in the notes in the computer. Thank you, Kyle. He calls me. So Barbara mainly deals with Scott. And I agree, because otherwise you're going into it blindly.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like she has to.
You already know what happened.
Yeah, exactly. She starts all over trying to find out what happened, and this guy is very forgiving and whatnot. But she discovered something here, which is the purpose of this call, is to find out where did Scott leave off. They love him. That's awesome news. Yep. They have an idea what he is, but what's the problem here? Where could this get sabotaged, ladies? Or anybody that was listening, where could this get sabotaged? What day of the week? I'll give you a hint. What day of the week? Who is listening? What day of the week could this get sabotaged? Sunday. It's screaming in my head since I heard it. Sunday. We have something else. Sunday. Right? Well, certainly don't do anything else. After you have that meeting, hang on. After you have that meeting on Sunday, don't do anything else without at least us talking to you, right? Paint them into a corner. Because they like Scott. We haven't eliminated him. Well, don't eliminate him. Have your meeting on Sunday. Let's see how that goes. I'll call you Sunday. What time's your meeting Sunday? I'll call you Sunday afternoon to see how that goes. Boom, boom, boom. It's right there. Right? That's the idea.
The company is Sunday. He's going to talk to him on Saturday.
Okay, well, whenever it is. Yeah, whenever it is, whenever the meeting is, I don't care when it is. If you heard it better than I did, how come you didn't book a call for, Saturday night, Sunday, whatever? Follow me?
I understand.
Yeah.
I do understand. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we do the coaching, because it just becomes acutely obvious to you now that you're good on muscle, which I don't like that we left you like this. That's on us. Okay, we're going to fix that as soon as next week. But where you're naturally good yourself, you and Carla, I know you guys have worked together in the past and you're both good. Okay, listen to that and go, yikes. Well, hold on. You like them. Don't do anything after you meet those people on Saturday. And you're going to be, let me talk to you. When's the meeting on Saturday? Let me talk and find out. Did we miss anything? Right? Can we make anything better? You follow me? Like, go right there, because that's where he could lose $100,000, $75,000, $50,000. There's a huge amount of money on the table right there on Saturday, Sunday, and you can save it. That's a big job for you, right? And I think you're good enough already, right now. What you just did with that call on muscle is impressive. Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're very good. I just want to give you the structure on these calls. First of all, I got to slap him for lousy internal communication. The guy's great. He goes out there. They love him, makes an offer. He's so honest as the day is long. And then he forgets to communicate with the person who got him the appointment. What? Right? That's ridiculous. And then you're so trying to muscle your way through it that you miss some of the obvious stuff that you should be doing to make sure we don't lose this deal, or at least we have one more crack at it. Only because you had to muscle through. By the time you get there, you're exhausted. Right?
Yeah. That's true.
Good. Your job, Barbara, your job on the home investor side of things, the cash deal side of things, is just to protect that we get the last bite at the apple, right? Because obviously we know with these cash offers, they're low, and somebody comes in and especially when somebody comes in after him, they go, oh, he give you 140, I'll give you 145. Well, that's $5 more grand, right? That's 10 more. I'll give you 150. That's ridiculous. I'll give you 160, right? We get sabotaged because we're not in last. So we have to go back and say, geez, 160, that's a pretty big number. Let me come back over there and take a look at it. Now Scott goes back out with an offer in his hand and decides, does he want to give him 160 right there because they like him better? Follow me? Follow? You are the safety net for the cash offer stuff. And he needs to set you up better so that you can do that in a much smarter way. Great job, though. I'm impressed. It's good to hear some of your calls, too.
Thank you. It's not easy.
I'm gonna, Barbara, I hear you, and I am gonna make it easier. You have my word. I'm gonna make it easier, right? Because it should be.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Any final comments or questions? We've gone 90 minutes here today, so that's enough. Comments, questions?
No, that was great, Danny.
Good.
That was great. I love the end of that. And I think that once Barbara talks to Scott about the better, because after I was speaking to Kyle right away, then I'm able to call my customer and say, hi, Mr. Wilkins.
Yes.
I heard it went wonderful with Kyle, and
Yes.
Kyle already set me up with certain questions,
Yes.
follow-up questions to ask after
Yes.
each time he meets.
Good.
So it works more smooth. So
Yeah. Good.
I think that one sounded great too for Barbara.
Good. Okay. I want you both to send that to Scott and Kyle and tell them what I said about it. Okay. And tell them we're going to work on next week. Okay.
We'll do that right now.
Okay. All right, gang. Listen, everybody, have a fabulous weekend. Appreciate y'all being here. All of you that participated today. It's helpful when you send me those calls. Man, it's just so much fun to coach live stuff because it's so much easier. We work for the consumer. Remember that. So everything that we do here is try to better serve the consumer and what they want and need in the right way. Right? So good job, all.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Bye, all.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Cheerio.
Clown.